question for Iain, really. So, would you like a Fitz spin-off? Would that be cool? Because I think that'd be cool. Just saying.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
If it was like Fitz and his monkey, like
That'd be cool.
Like a whole show based around that, just what they get up to, and they don't even do stuff.
Why were you doing the monkey? That's your answer. That.
Because that's the sign when people talk about Fitz's monkey. Yeah, and like not even anything happens. Like most of the episodes are just the two of them sitting together watching TV. But that's
I'd watch that.
Yeah. So yeah, we should get a campaign to start that. As long as I get a monkey, that would be cool.
Kickstarter, I'll do it.
All right.
I'll go.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
I suddenly get the feeling the next piece of Marvel promo work for Series 3 will be Fitz and his monkey.
Sounds like a euphemism.
Yep.
Will there be any appearances from any heroes from the MCU in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Well, we get a few, don't we? Like we've had people kind of crop up here and there. Are you talking about like the Avengers? I think that's what you're after, isn't
or
it?
maybe new ones like Doctor Strange or something.
Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Apparently, old Iron Man has said that it's his favourite show, and he wouldn't mind if he was going to do a cameo on any of them. It would be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. I think it was like someone asked him it on Twitter or something, and he said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Robert Downey Jr. This is obviously not the actual Iron Man.
No, who's Robert Downey? Who's Robert Downey Jr.? Yeah, but Iron Man's real.
Huh? Yeah.
After Infinity Wars Part 2, there is scheduled Inhumans. So would the Inhumans that have been shown in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. be follow-up to that movie?
I really hate this because whenever we get like asked questions to do interviews, we get asked these questions and we don't know the answers. And even if we did, we couldn't tell you. So, but yeah, I mean, it's, the honest answer is got no idea. Got no idea what they're planning. But I think it would be. I think everyone would be pretty excited if there was that crossover going the other way as well. So fingers crossed. Well, I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Awesome. And quickly for Iain, I know in the first series you got an injury. Will you ever recover from that?
Well, I mean, I think he's come on. I think at the start of season 2, he was definitely feeling the effects of that injury, and I think he's got a lot better as season 2 has gone on. But I think that the thing is with that kind of injury, it always stays with you. It's just you never kind of go back to who you were before. It's kind of a different person that you become, and coping with it. That got quite deep there.
Awesome, thanks a lot.
Thank you though.
Hi guys, I love you.
Love you
okay,
too.
basically, if there was one moment in the whole series that defined your character, what would it be and why?
Oh, good question.
I think when Fitz met Lance. I think. Just symmetry, man. Symmetry.
It was definitely a spark there, yeah. No one's asked about the Fitz and Hunter spin-off yet, but we've been working on it, haven't we, in our spare time?
Yeah. Do you want to sing the theme tune? He sings a great theme tune. Sing it.
Shut up.
Do the dance. Do the dance.
Next year. We'll work it out for next year. What was the question again? The moment that defined it.
A life, defining moment in the series.
I reckon it was probably, for Lance, it was probably when, quite late on in the series, when we're in that little Tika bar, I walk in and Coulson and I sign on. I think that was it for Hunter. I think that was when he went, yeah, I'm here to stay. So,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, yeah, I'm just wondering, now that Skye's got superpowers, is there any superpowers you want for your characters as well, for like season 3?
I'd love some.
yeah. I'm trying to think what would be the best. See, because there's a difference between the superpowers I would choose and what I would choose as an actor in the show. But it'd have to be something that didn't require too much like stunt work. Like flying sounds like fun, but actually every day like hanging on strings in the air would get quite tedious, I reckon, after a while. Yeah. So I don't know, superpower would be like sitting, having a beer. What about you?
I would like to look like Brett Dalton for a day.
What?
Yeah.
No taste, some people.
I was just wondering, who's the biggest diva or joker on set?
We could get people in trouble here.
I actually... oh, no, wait, I can't say that.
You're pretty difficult, aren't you, with it? But Ian's quite rude to the crew. Like, that's his thing. He's quite abusive.
Nick,
he gets quite physical.
The thing is, when Nick came in, he was like... People were like, oh, he's a bit divish, but don't worry, he doesn't... Like, he comes in every morning and asks for, like, 20 peeled grapes, like, in his trailer.
It's
for
normal,
no reason.
man.
Yeah, things like that.
I haven't got time to peel him myself.
I'd say, like, Ming-Na Wen. She's not a diva, but she's crazy.
She's just bonkers.
I mean, she's clinically insane. No, I mean, it's not funny. She's clinically insane.
Yeah, she's got a problem. Why are you laughing?
Yeah. Seriously, she's mad.
Yeah, I'd say that she's probably the...
Yeah. Not that she means to do it, but she'll often laugh just for no... You'll be doing a really serious scene, like, what's happened, or, you know, Coulson's in real trouble, and she'll just start laughing for no...
As far as... there's a lot of pranks that get played as well. There's... Clark's always good for an elaborate one. He's always got a prop or something he's going to use.
I got a license plate made with a very rude word on it, and I put it on Chloe's car, and then she drove it home. That was a good one.
Yeah, there's Ian's always up for a prank as well. But I tell you, who's a bit of a dark horse is Henry Simmons, who plays Mac, because you can't tell when he's joking, because he's such a nice guy and really quite earnest and everything, and then he just says something, and you're like, what? Like, and it's normally quite crude, but he does it in a completely deadpan. He's good fun.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Hi.
Whoa.
I'm not a
Jesus
child.
Christ!
I'm
You
just
need to get some cream for that.
Oh God, damn! I didn't know.
My question is basically, obviously I love how the series has done everything with the Inhumans and how you've been integrating the other bits of the comic books into it. But if there was one character that you could be that isn't yours, who would you be in the entire Marvel universe?
The entire Marvel universe. I would do this to the answer. Lance Hunter.
Yeah.
I get a feeling
Leo Fitz.
I'd probably be Coulson, actually.
In control. He wants to be in control.
Yeah.
Says a lot about his character.
Power complex.
Who would I be? God, that's a tough question. On the show, I wouldn't mind doing... I honestly wouldn't mind a crack at Fitz. That'd be fun.
Would you... Is that a euphemism, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Would you do a Scottish accent?
Yeah, well, I'll try.
Try it?
Oh, shut up. Like, I wouldn't mind... Oh, no, I've done this before. Well, I started to answer a question and I realised what I was about to say. I was about to say I wouldn't mind being one of the girls to try in their costumes.
If Nick was one of the girls for a day, we'd never get him out of the trailer. Does that answer your question? I don't know.
I'd be any character as long as they were green.
Yeah. Oh, well then.
I hope you shower before you go to bed tonight, because otherwise your mum's going to be very annoyed if you're getting all that all over the sheets. I hope you've not been touching any of the walls as well when you've been walking around, because...
There's a handprint on my hotel door.
You're going to get charged for that. I hope you didn't give your credit card
Let's
details.
just scrub it up.
That'll learn you. How much makeup did you use for that?
Just like a small...
Or did you just dive in a pond?
To be honest, we had to get up 2 hours earlier than all of our other friends, and my other friends painted me, and I just sat there like that. And then they would go away and do more of their costumes, and then they come back to me like this. And it was a very long process.
Well, it looks great.
Oh, thank you.
Do you feel that the circumstances that your characters come across, do you think it could possibly take place in real life, maybe perhaps in a future life of your own, or something to that effect?
Whoa.
I mean...
It's quite an existential question, that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the cool... Sometimes, like, the cool thing about Shield and a lot of the characters in it is that they're in the Marvel universe with all these supernatural elements and things, but they're normal people, you know. So in that sense, they're normal people working for a very secret government agency, which I suppose is possible. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Could I see it happening? I don't think so. I reckon I'd probably just run pretty quickly if any of that stuff happened, and I also wouldn't be able to keep a secret. If I was asked to join a team like that, I'd be telling everyone. So who knows? I mean, I'd be getting sort of my ass kicked by my ex-wife. I don't fancy that either. I'll just keep it low key. Yeah. Cheers, man.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hey.
So question directed at Iain. Obviously, from the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we've seen you and Simmons together pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
So obviously, season 2, you've both been separated pretty much the whole season. How has that made your characters grow?
Yeah, I think that was kind of an important factor for them to kind of. I think at some point they had to separate and grow up and do kind of find different things by themselves separately. I think obviously they were going through very different things at the start of season 2, but they've got the kind of friendship, I think, where they'll always be a part of each other's lives. I don't think there'll ever be a moment, no matter what happens or how bad it gets, that they won't be able to work stuff out. I think they work very well together. That was a really boring answer. I wanted to find like a little joke at the end, like a little limerick that Nick does, but I couldn't think of one. So that's
always doing limerick.
That's the end. He always does little limericks, does Nick? Yeah. So that's my answer.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hello.
What do you think is the funniest moment you've ever had on the show?
It was funny for like the people watching. I was in on it, but my little 3-year-old nephew came. They all came to visit us in LA, and just as we were about to do a take, we were coming around the corner. It's the one where we're about to go. I think it's in the second to last episode, and me, Agent May, and Coulson come around the corridor and walk down, and we're like, right, we're going to go do this and kill these people and all that stuff, and. We were there, and my little nephew was there, and Clark went, right, let's get him in it. So we came around the corner, and they were all set up shooting it, and we had my little nephew in the scene. So I'm hoping they stick that in the DVD extras. Yeah.
We had one day actually quite recently where Clark brought in. Have you ever seen those like little fart machines? You press a button and they go off. So we were doing during the middle of a scene, and it was only me, Clark, and Chloe, I think. So it was me, Coulson, and Skye that were in on it, and. We set it off right in the middle of the scene and blamed it on Chloe. And everyone thought it was real. One of the greatest moments of my life, actually. Not just the show.
Hi, you guys are great, by the way.
Thanks.
If you could choose any one thing to happen to your character in the future, what would it be and why?
You go first.
Any one thing. I would like to have a monkey. Can't believe you had to ask that question. Yeah, that's it, plain and simple. And I would call it Bon Bon.
I think it'd probably be like a severe injury, because I remember when Chloe was. All her Inhuman stuff, and she basically spent a week lying in that bed every day was shooting, and everyone stood around getting tired, and she's just lying back. And I reckon something like that would be all right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Hi.
Hello.
My question is pretty much just saying, like, during the shoot, like any episode, have you ever like stopped for a moment and looked around and thought, oh my God, is this real? Like all this fandom and people scream my name. Like, have you ever like frozen and just like?
No one's screamed my name on set while we're shooting.
Well, I mean, like just the realization.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. It's really cool. We always have like these huge big sets that we film on, and huge special effects and stuff, and yeah, coming like out here today and stuff. You know, it's weird because when we're doing it, it's kind of like a bit of a bubble, and we don't know if anyone watches it. We don't know if people like it and stuff. So it's nice to come out and meet everyone, and if people are fans of the show, it's great to meet them and things.
I definitely, on my first day on set was one of those moments because it was a bit of a mad. I mentioned it earlier in the interview thing. Like I was shooting something here. In fact, right by here, while this was on last year, I was shooting something here, and I wrapped on that evening. Flew to LA the next day. Was driven from the airport to set and straight into costume and makeup, and then was lying in a crashed car upside down with Xena the warrior princess, and I was kind of like, this is weird. Like, so yeah, definitely. Then, and you do, like we were talking the other day that, you know, you like Iain was saying, you get in a bubble and you kind of get used to it. You get used to these insane sets and the work that the set designers do and all the art department and everything. The props guys is incredible. Like the detail is you know, like nothing I've ever seen before. And but you kind of get, like anything, you kind of get used to it, and then every now and then you sit back, and we were saying about this the other day, and you have to kind of remember how your 10-year-old self would react to doing this. And it's nice when people come visit and you can show them around the set, and then you kind of get reminded of that first moment when, you know, when I saw like the bus and stuff for the first time, it was just mind-blowing what they do, you know.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers, see ya. What's on your sign?
There's free hugs.
Ah.
Want one?
Yeah.
Come on.
I want a hug.
Serious?
I can see someone now making a sign saying free snogs.
I actually met her earlier, and I only saw the free bit, and I saw the UG at the end, S, and I thought it said free drugs. And I was like, wow, that's bold.
It's stupid as well, giving them away for free.
Yeah,
like,
people
make a lot of money out of that.
That's not.
Have you seen Scarface?
Just like to point out, before anybody starts scribbling free hug signs... you can ask away.
Well, I kind of wish I had got a sign like that for this one. I love the show, and as much as I respect Hunter and as much as I love his character, I've just got one question for Iain. At the transition...
He's a massive...
I'm sorry. But at the point where you discovered that you would have to play Fitz with this mental disability or his damage, how did you feel, and which season did you more enjoy playing him? When he was normal or after he had had his accident?
That's a good question. Well, for me, when I came up, when they you know, it was their idea, obviously, the writers and stuff, and they did a lot of research before I did. And then, coincidentally, I'd actually watched a documentary on head trauma before they told me. So, and then did my own kind of research as well. And I think the main thing is that it was that it's that something like that is a very real thing that's happened to a lot of people in a very real way. So we were just very mindful of being respectful towards it, and hopefully we were. And yeah, it was. I suppose it was a challenge. So, you know, I suppose playing the older Fitz, which was a bit more light-hearted, was probably easier. But actually, when you have a bit of a challenge, doing something that's a bit of a challenge, when you come out the other side, it's actually more rewarding, I think. And there's no limerick on this one either.
Bloody brilliantly as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Hi. Hi. One of my favourite things about the show is the one-liners. Are they all scripted, or do you just kind of sneak them in?
We get plenty from them. We've got some really good writers that have a lot of fun, but we do now and then, don't we? We get a few. There's a few here and there. I'm trying to think of a...
We did one the other day with... has it been on here? Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing's been on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, that was your idea. Sorry, just talk amongst yourselves.
Should we reenact it? What was it?
I said something like...
He interrupted me.
Oh, we should check this thing.
And I go, yeah, you do know that I can finish my own...
Sentences.
Yeah, we came up with that.
Well done, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
you had to be there. It was funny at the time.
Yeah.
It really worked.
No, that's really
good.
funny. That's good.
They kept it in, so...
Thanks.
Having seen all of season 1 and season 2 and the relationships that have developed between yourself as Fitz and Simmons, and in season 2 between Hunter and Bobby, where do you hope with Hunter and Bobby where the relationship will go, and what sort of feelings are going through Fitz's mind at the point he discovers what has happened to Simmons?
Well, you told me before you wanted to answer this one first. Sorry.
Where would I like to see Bobby and Hunter's relationship go? Well, I think the most fun thing about it is that it's this love-hate thing. It's will they, won't they, and they can never quite get it together. It's, you can't live with them, can't live without them. So I imagine they're going to have fun with that, continually. It'd be interesting to see if a third party got involved, and if Hunter gets, distracted by someone, or if Bobby does. That would be quite fun. I think it would drive Hunter absolutely bonkers if she, hooked up with Fitz or something. But she would also tear him apart as well. But so yeah, I think that would be fun. But it'd be, I think you never want it to be too easy for them,
Sorry, I was still thinking about Fitz and Adrian. I mean, obviously, if Simmons is, I have absolutely no idea what's happened to Simmons, but I presume that Fitz would probably be pretty heartbroken if he finds out she's gone missing or doesn't know where she is.
How do you think that could affect the character that you're playing?
Cry a lot more.
Yeah, probably cry a lot more. Just be sad and angry. Yeah, it would affect him pretty traumatically, I reckon. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know if she's, if she'll, come back in 10 seconds, or I don't know where she's gone. I don't know what's that. I have no idea. So until then, I can't really think about it. Can't think too far ahead.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately, but thank you.
Have a question for Iain, but I just want to say beforehand that you're the reason that I watched the show in the first place. I've been a fan of yours for 5 years since the fade.
For God's sake.
I'm sorry. Nick, I love you.
We talked about this before. You will sit down and you will listen to this.
I promise. I came.
Why did you invite your sister?
I came for the Fitz. I stayed for the Hunter. It's okay. But yeah. Iain, you're a big inspiration to me as a writer.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, thank
anyway,
you.
So my question for Iain is, with the time jump between the end of the first series and the beginning of the second, there was a lot of hospital scenes and coma scenes and all of that stuff. Did you want to do any of that? Because I kind of remember you saying at some point that there was a hospital scene, but it got cut out. Would you have liked to have just gone straight into it, series 2? Would you have liked to have done any of the development stuff, or were you happy with it just being thrown in?
No, I think it was pretty. I mean, yeah, we did actually. We filmed a hospital scene, which would have been at the end of season 1, where Fitz wakes up. But when we were doing it, actually, it didn't really work. It was a bit rushed, and it didn't feel very right. And actually, with that kind of head trauma, a lot of people wake up and they're not really there for the first while. So I don't really know how much we could have really done for it. So doing it 6 months on meant the whole storyline that happens with Simmons, I think, was played out a bit more fully, and we didn't have to kind of waste time with it. I feel like we kind of hopefully got as much across as we could with having that break in between. But it would have been cool to do that. And you're a writer, are you?
I am, yeah. I'm studying a master's degree at UEL just down the road in creative writing.
Cool. Very good. Do you think you want to write for Marvel then?
I would definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll put a word in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think Hunter's getting any scenes, is he?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, you could maybe write the pilot for Fitz and the Monkey.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Just want to say, amazing show, everyone agrees. But are Fitz and Simmons ever actually going to go on a date? Because every time you think it's going to happen, like a life-threatening situation comes up.
Yeah.
Always bloody happens, that, doesn't it? It's a nightmare.
Every time you go on a date.
That's why Iain's single.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you know what I mean? That's you right? I have no idea. They're going to play out that it's kind of that will they, won't they kind of thing. They obviously do have very strong feelings for each other, but you know, aside from all that, I think the main thing is that they're very good friends. I mean, it's kind of weird because me and Elizabeth very early on would always describe it as a brother-sister relationship, and then the writers were like, "No, you've got feelings for each other." So I don't know what that says. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, eventually they will do. Can you finish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, could I ask you a favour?
Yeah.
I brought my cousin for her birthday, and we queued, but couldn't see you. So could you wish her a happy birthday?
Of course.
It's today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Can everyone sing happy birthday?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
1, 2,
Everyone has
3.
to do it. And wait, what's her name? What's her name? Quick.
Lily.
Lily.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
So if there's one thing I've learned from watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's not to trust any of you. No offense. Now, so far, you two seem all right, but if your characters were going to explore more of their dark sides, how do you think that would play out?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he's not. He's a brave monkey. Oh, that's a good question, actually, isn't it? I suppose I would maybe create an evil robot that I would use to fight my battles for me while I sat inside its brain or something and moved it about with loads of joysticks. Huh?
What battles does Fitz have?
Either that or Fitz has got quite a bad temper sometimes, so maybe just.
I think you've started to see the dark side of Fitz. He's quite moody. He's he's not happy with Ward, and he's had a few little run-ins with Simmons, haven't you? A few little crosswords. It's developing. He's going to be the big baddie next season, I reckon. He's going to be running Hydra, but he'll be like a really weird, evil scientist. All right.
What about you? What would you do?
What is it? My dark side. What would it be? Oh, I'd just become an alcoholic or something, I reckon. A violent alcoholic. Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
Hi. Iain, you shouldn't say you want to look like Brett because you are gorgeous.
Aww.
And everyone here agrees with me. Come on.
Thanks.
That's just the start of it.
I more want his body.
No.
Have you seen his body?
I don't care.
I have the body of a 14-year-old, no jokes. When I go on the beach and take my top off, people ask me if I've lost my mum and dad.
All right,
No,
then.
they don't. No, I don't. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, but thank you.
You're welcome. So, question. What do you guys fangirl and fanboy about on set? What are the things that you guys are obsessed with, especially in the past year?
We have the Quinjet, the
Quinjet,
which is the actual one they used in, Captain America when they all jump out the back of the start when they all jump out the back of the little plane, skydive down. That we use that actual one in the show now. That's quite cool.
And it's got rungs on it that are like monkey bars, so we're always on them. In fact, I injured myself swinging across them. But we were doing Matrix poses, in the air like that, holding onto these monkey bars. So that's quite fun. And I got a football to play with in one of the scenes. And that kept me occupied for the whole afternoon. I also nearly smashed a light bulb and, knocked over various things, booting it around the bus. So, yeah, the football, that's really sad, isn't it? Out of all those things you've got, it's just a ball. It's like I like bouncing a ball.
Yeah, there was when we first started, they'd have these amazing, I had these drones that went about everywhere. We were filming CGI on a green screen. There was this huge bus set. And then one day me and Elizabeth were sitting down and someone handed us a bottle of water and it had a SHIELD logo on it. And we were like, what the? It's the most exciting thing ever. Simple pleasures.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. You busy texting? Sorry, are we keeping you?
His phone just went off.
You can take the call.
When you first started, did you what heroes were you looking forward to see? Which heroes did you want to be in the series with you?
Fitz. He was my hero. Come on, let's go.
I was always looking for I don't know what the name of him was at the time, but I was always looking for this kind of just a character, an English guy who was quite funny, who liked a good beer and could handle himself, well. That's kind of and I'm still looking for that. Who's your favorite character? Who would you?
Watch
Thor.
what you say. All right,
Thor.
All right, fine.
Nice.
I reckon I could take him. He's nothing without that hammer.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Hello.
Oh, Jesus.
Doing that dance
Some water.
really did me a number. Right, by the way, if anyone does have that video, could you put it online? I want to show my friends.
What's this?
Dance off earlier on the stage against another Star-Lord somewhere over there.
Oh, wait, did you get paid for that, or?
No, well, they gave us a freebie, so that was nice.
Right, okay.
Right, Mike.
Shows your dance.
Has anyone got it so they could put it online?
No, you can just do it now. I want to see it live. Yes.
Right, my question is to you, Nick. Right, so being on Trolleyed and then changing to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., how much of a difference was it
Well, there was quite a long gap between the two. I think I left that show well over a year beforehand. So I did do other stuff. I didn't literally just put down my apron and then put on a cape. But yeah, I mean, it's weird really because it's kind of like we were saying earlier, the job really, once you there's amazing sets and, the budgets are huge and everything. And then once the camera's on, it's the same job really. You're still trying to make sense of a script and make it, acknowledge, do justice to the script and acknowledge all the beats and the character moments in it. So it's weirdly, doing something like Trolleyed or any of the other jobs you do, it's once the cameras roll in, it's the same job. Do you know what I mean? But as far as the physical side to it and everything, that's obviously had a lot different. There wasn't that many stunts or guns in Trolleyed, but it'd be fun if there was. For those that don't know, it's like a supermarket comedy I did. Yeah. In fact, merging those two together would be quite good.
Great.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. meets Trolleyed. Yeah, that would be fun.
Agents of Asta.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Cheers, man.
So I was wondering, do you do any preparation to get yourself into character? And once you're in character, do you do method acting and stay in character?
No, the honest answer is no. Don't do any method acting as such.
I think that we film it for 9 months of the year. So actually, by the time we get into episode 4, it's pretty. You just get into the swing of doing it. It's the same with learning lines. Actually, really I can look at a scene a couple of times and I know it. Yeah.
You do that's really true because and sometimes I'll find myself when you're shooting something and after the first few weeks and you're going, well, I was doing loads of homework before and now I'm not, and you start to feel really guilty because you feel like you're not kind of doing the work, but you've kind of already done it, and you do all that work of, you know, researching the character ideas from the script and stuff, and then you kind of let that go and just get on with it. But I think one of the differences with this as well, in America, because there's such long seasons, you get scripts as you go, so the character develops. And certainly with Hunter, I know that they had an idea of what they wanted, but they kind of develop it as they're writing it. Whereas in the UK, and if you're doing a film as well, you get the whole thing in one go, so you can really kind of concentrate on it and do all that character work. But with this, it's more of a kind of ongoing, organic thing, really. But as far as like the method side of it, no, because I think if you're doing like 9 months of the year, I'd be an alcoholic. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of, you do the work early on, and then you can play around, really. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hi. If you could choose any way for your character to die, what would it be?
A long, slow, painful death, I reckon. Spread out over a few episodes.
Yeah, you just hear you in the background, like, during the scenes, just, that's a good question. I don't want to say anything too good, because then they might just do it. What do you think?
For Fitz, I reckon he'd have to die of a broken heart. Fitz.
The what? Yeah, his monkey died.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
They'd be like Romeo and Juliet. I'd like the poison off his lips.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's really taken this euphemism quite far, really. I'm sorry.
Hey, man.
Hello. Some of the things I like most about the show are when, in amongst all of the action and stuff, you get like really silly, light-hearted moments. Like one I particularly liked was Coulson was making a cup of coffee and comes across a Grumpy Cat mug. I was wondering, sort of, how much of that is planned, or do they have? Are there scenes where they say, "Make this light-hearted, do something funny," like that?
I think it's a bit of both, really. Things like Grumpy Cat we ordered that mug in for sure. But yeah, there will be stuff where you know, we get the scripts out a few days before we start shooting, and we do like a read through and stuff, so we have time to kind of discuss some things and come up with ideas. And they definitely, you know, if you like, I don't think the final episode's been on here yet, has it? Has it? It's not, is it? I'm not gonna get. I can't. Yeah, there's some stuff that you can add in and do all that kind of stuff. They're quite open to that, and then they can kind of decide what they want to keep in the edit, I suppose. Yeah, it's pretty natural.
Sorry, I was zoned out for a second then, because I was just thinking about the fact that the last episode hasn't been on, and I was going, have I given anything away? So remind me what the question was.
How much, when there are silly, funny moments, how much of those are planned, or do they just say, do something silly?
I mean, I agree with you. I think that like one of the great things about the show is that irreverence and the fact that it's quite tongue-in-cheek at times, and it gives it a heart and makes it quite real, because life's like that. You know, it's not all serious and doom and gloom, no matter what situation you're in. You know, but we just have a great team of writers that, you know, considering it's a, you know, like a comic book show, a sci-fi show, or whatever you want to call it, that the fact that we've got comic writers on the show really a lot of the time. So we're fortunate that we, you know, I'd love to take credit for all the funny lines, but I'd say largely it's the writers, and we just get to then play around with it, you know.
Thank
cool.
you.
Cheers, man.
Hi, guys.
Hey. Hello.
Oh, that was a bit too much. So obviously, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is always like this little family, and this season you've had Nick and a lot of other actors come in. How has it been for each of you to for Iain to have new people join this little family, and for you, Nick, to join this?
Oh, I love it. It's the best when new people come in, especially when you get on with them. There hasn't been anyone actually that's come in that I don't think people haven't got on with, but the additions this year have just been perfect, really. Had Nick, got Henry who plays Mac, and we've got Adrian who plays Mockingbird, and yeah, it's been great. I mean, we all get on very, very well, which is really lucky. I hate to think what it would be like if we hated each other. Do you know what I mean? Or if someone just was like a huge diva.
Yeah, I mean, the show, I know everyone says it about shows, I know it's like a big family, it's all lovely and all that, but in LA where we shoot, and you obviously meet a lot of people, industry people there, and people that work on crews, and when you meet and they know that you're on the show, they're always like, I've heard that, you know, the atmosphere on set is amazing, and, you know, it does have a reputation for being a really kind of friendly atmosphere and very kind of, you know, cohesive team. And for me, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, you know, apprehensive about it, because, you know, I've never joined a show before. I've never, you know, part way through kind of thing. But everyone just makes you feel at home. Everybody's really down to earth and normal, and, you know, feel fortunate, like, you know, having another Brit there who's kind of similar interests and stuff. We hang out all the time, and, you know, everyone's just cool. They're just nice people, and it's always nice working with nice people, you know.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks. See ya.
You alright, guys?
Hello.
I just thought, now because Phil Coulson's back alive, do you think he should go straight into the new Avengers film, Infinite War, or do you think they're just not going to put him in it?
I think he should. I would love to see him in it. I thought he was going to be in the one just.
Yeah, we all thought that he was keeping it a secret and he was going
Yeah.
to crop up in the latest one, but alas, he didn't.
But he didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I suppose the Avengers don't.
The trouble is, a lot of
No
time as well,
one's-
because the Avengers was shooting while we were shooting, so it's quite tricky practically for them to be able to go, right, we'll take you out of this, because it's pretty full on our schedule, you know. You don't get a great deal of time to.
Yeah, especially Clark, who plays Coulson.
Yeah,
He's
he's also got all that technical jargon to learn, so, you know, he's got his work cut out.
But
It'd be
I would-
great to see him in it.
I would like to see him in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone else would, right?
I think how great a job he did in the film is kind of the reason why S.H.I.E.L.D. exists in the first place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, the popularity of his character, kind of, that's what S.H.I.E.L.D. was born out of. You know, so yeah, hopefully he'll be back.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, see ya.
And this lady here now has the distinct honour of being the final question.
Make it a good one.
It's really frivolous, I'm really sorry. There's quite a bit of significance with Fitz and his favourite sandwich. I just wondered, for both of you, what your actual favourite sandwiches would be.
Actually, there's this place near where I stay in America. It's called Potato Chips. It does the best meatball sandwich you've ever had. That's what's meatball sandwich, isn't it?
Mine's gonna be really lame because I'm a vegan, so it's just like some bread with a load of like vegetables in it.
What's your one?
What?
Probably steak and blue cheese.
You murderer.
Sounds nice. Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have for. Please give it up for our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Palace,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers.